नमस्कार, जय हिंद, जय भारत एंड वेलकम टू डेव टॉक्स। दिस इज आदि अचिंत। मेरे साथ हैं दीप हल्दर साहब, जिनके साथ हम बात करेंगे। वी विल टॉक अबाउट बांग्लादेश, व्हाट्स हैपनिंग देयर, बिकॉज इलेक्शन डेट इज कमिंग क्लोज बाय। February 12th is supposed to be the date. अब वो होता है नहीं होता किसी को पता नहीं है।
February 12th.
Let's find out what is exactly happening. Fuzzy, namaskar, welcome to the show.
Namaskar. Thank you, Adi. So, election is less than a month away, and
जी,
former allies, Bangladesh Nationalist Party and Jamaat-e-Islami Bangladesh, they are fighting literally on the streets now. So the Jamaat is in a 11-party coalition with the National Citizen Party, NCP, the Students' Party that came out of the thing that happened in July. And BNP has some seat sharing agreements, but it's basically the contest is basically between the BNP and Jamaat, and their cadre is fighting on the streets, and they're saying all kinds of things about each other. The funny thing is that the Jamaat is accusing the BNP of being pro-India now. So I think that's the worst thing you can say about any party this election season in Bangladesh. So Bangladesh Nationalist Party, which has traditionally been seen as a pro-Pakistan party. In fact, the joke is that Jamaat and BNP have the same father, which is Pakistan. But Jamaat is accusing BNP of being pro-India. And I think BNP is saying that we don't want any external interference, whether it is from India, whether it is from Delhi or Pindi. So it's a reference to Army League and to Jamaat. So they are saying that the Army League is out of the elections. So Delhi is out, and Pindi, which is Jamaat basically, even they won't be allowed to dictate the political narrative of Bangladesh anymore. So there are violent clashes on the streets. Rotten eggs are thrown at candidates, and the Jamaat is saying all kinds of things. There's a very interesting interview that the Jamaat Amir Dr. Shafiqur Rahman did with Al Jazeera. I don't know if you saw it. It has just come out. I saw a clip of it where he's asked that what his views on women are, and he says that he respects women. So he says that would there be a time when you will have women candidates, fighting elections? To which he said, yes, we are working towards that. So he said that the interviewer said that why isn't it happening this time? I mean, there are other parties where there are women candidates. So he said, well, it's happening. I mean, we're working towards that. And then he's asked that will there be a time when a woman perhaps would take the Jamaat Amir's place? So he couldn't keep up the pretense anymore. So he said, no, that can't be because it's against Allah's will. And he can't possibly go against Allah's will. So a woman can't be the head of Jamaat Islami Bangladesh. And it's very interesting because he says this while whatever its problems are, Bangladesh's, two of its most powerful and most prominent prime ministers were women, the late Khaleda Zia and Sheikh Hasina. And they both ruled Bangladesh literally with iron fist. And for the Jamaat Islami Bangladesh now to say that it's against Allah's will to have a woman head of his party, forget the country, is very interesting. So yeah, that's happening, and there are a lot of conspiracy theories. I mean, these are not conspiracy theories anymore. It's all out in the open. That the Washington Post tapes, which said that America wants Jamaat to be in control. The Jamaat Amir says we spoke about it last time. He wants a unity government. Every party should come together to be part of the government. And there's a sense in Bangladesh that India would want to go with BNP. But that's what's happening, and everybody's waiting. But there's a sense that it's been already been fixed. It's the degree of fixing we are debating, the election. If it does
So
happen,
this
it will be a completely fixed game.
this leak that came out of the Americans, the Washington Post, that was very very interesting to me. That one, there is a leak from the Washington Post
Yeah.
implicating their own people. Ki, bhai, this is what our CIA guys are doing inside Bangladesh. Why do you think that happened?
Yes. would have done the story. But I think there might be. I mean, we take it. I think there is. Perhaps there is skepticism about the Jamaat in certain sections, of America, because given what's happening. So I think we think of these things as, there are, okay, America has decided, the deep state has decided, but I think there would be players in between, and BNP would also, of course, have its play.
Hmm.
I mean, I think there's a scare about the Jamaat because you don't know what it's going to do, right? I mean, it's even, we discussed last time. It has even given ticket to a Hindu candidate. But on the one hand, it says it wants an inclusive Bangladesh, secular Bangladesh. On the other, one of its senior members said that there should be no non-Muslim MP in parliament in Bangladesh. So it's very mixed signal. So you don't really know what they're going to do once they're in power.
Hmm.
It might be that certain promises were made that by the Jamaat to the Americans, and then they fear that it's not. I mean, it may not keep those promises, and that thereby a warning signal. You don't know. I mean, but it's very interesting. It came out of all places in Washington Post. Uh,
That's the
yeah,
CIA
so
mouthpiece.
it's very
It's like
interesting
the
what's happening now.
it's like the
Yes,
CIA complaining on
yes,
itself.
yes. So which means that not everything's fine. We don't really know what's happening.
When you look at Sheikh Hasina, who came out and said what she said right after that leak,
Yeah,
and she gave an
yeah,
interview, press statement, and everything. And the Awami League guys said something in Delhi. What
yes.
was the reason for that? Why did she need to do something like that?
So
She
close
didn't
to
say
the
anything
election.
new. She didn't say anything new, although.
Yeah, yeah. So I was at the presser. I spoke to the guys before, her ministers, and some of them were connected, online, who were answering questions and also gave a short speech. Uh, I think, I don't know. I wanted to write a column and then I decided against it. I really don't know what good it served really. I mean, it shook up a few things. I mean, like you
Yeah.
said, it didn't say anything new. She has been saying these things for a while now. We have been reporting about it. Whatever she said, much of it has been reported by other, as in put out as opinion pieces also. But this close to the election, pressure like that, though it was a recorded statement, but it I think the way Dhaka read it was that India gave a platform to a fugitive, somebody wanted by their law, so close to the election, and it does not augur well for India Bangladesh relationships going forward. So one of their commentators told me, I mean, off the record, one of their prominent political commentators, he said that, look, I think it's you just gave a warning it's through Hasina, India gave a warning that we can always play the Hasina card. So no matter what happens in your election, no matter who comes to power in Bangladesh, we'll always have we can any time dangle the Hasina card, and we can we can embarrass you, or we can keep you on tenterhooks. So it was more India flex than Hasina trying to stop the election, because I think Army League now knows that the election might happen.
Hmm.
I mean, they I don't think they would be able to do much right at this point to stop the election. Since the election is postponed, it has to be the players who are already in the country and who have a skin in the game who will try to postpone elections, because it won't go their way.
So, do you think there is a force right now? For example, the NCP, which was very much spoken about today, people are stoning them. They're throwing eggs at them. So, I mean, are they trying to stop the election, which is the Yunus gang?
Yes, yes. I don't think NCP. I don't think NCP. NCP is more or less completely out of any kind of public sympathy, because what they have done since they were registered as a political party last year, the amount of extortion that they did,
Yeah.
the sex scandals involving some of their top leaders. So I don't think NCP is in a place to stop election. They can do somebody's bidding. So what can happen, that the Jamaat may want to postpone the election if what I said is right, that the level of fixing has not been decided
Fully
upon
done.
yet,
Hmm.
fully done yet. So I mean, anything else will be a sideshow, or they'll do it by proxy. So they won't directly do it. It's a very smart outfit. So they'll do it through NCP or through somebody else, or maybe another assassination. But it would be the Jamaat who would want to postpone the election, if at all. See, the Jamaat won't want a situation where the BNP comes to power with a roaring majority.
Hmm.
It won't augur well for the Jamaat. So I think if that level of fixing is not, and BNP I'm sure would not want, even if it does take a few Jamaat guys in the government, it would want to get as many seats as possible. So I think that's where the disagreement lies. Even if it were to accommodate the Jamaat, it would do it at its own convenience.
But they're
It would
throwing, they're,
not
they're
want.
fighting on the streets. I mean, the Jamaat and
Yeah,
the
they're
BNP
fighting on
are
the
literally
streets.
fighting on
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
streets.
it's crazy. Yeah,
And they're
I
also
was
in an.
in. Yes, I was in Dhaka, to cover elections, last elections, January 7, 2024. So all through those months, October and November, there were violent street protests against Sheikh Hasina's Army League by Jamaat and BNP on the streets. They were taking on the police and Chhatro and her student wing, Chhatro League. So the police and the Chhatro League guys were fighting with BNP and Jamaat, and now they're fighting against each other. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's quite weird actually when what is happening here. How do you think
Yeah,
India's cricket has actually turned out to be quite a polarizer right now in Bangladesh? They're actually abusing their current leadership, saying
they're
this
bored.
was.
Yes, and
Yeah.
also the government. Yes, yes,
So what's the
yes.
polarizing factor there? That kind of shows that yeah, anti-India fine it sells, but when it starts
Yeah,
hurting them, they don't want to be anti-India anymore.
I think anti-India is also, this election time, anti-India is also not really working with the public anymore, because you had anti-India right at the. In fact, even before the Yunus government came to power, even before Sheikh Hasina stepped down, right after she came to power last time, January 7, 2024, the India Out campaign began.
Hmm.
So that's the beginning of 2024. Almost immediately, I think early February, the India Out campaign began in Bangladesh, online and offline also. On the streets also, there were protests and all that, telling shopkeepers not to keep Indian goods. So I think that's almost 2 years. Yeah, I mean, how much anti-India can you do? I mean, people also get bored. So you constantly had anti-India sentiment pushed by the Yunus government. But right now, I think among the public, this government still does that. But I think, in fact, today only one of their advisors has said that India is in no position to comment on Bangladesh elections. I just saw before coming on your show, one of their advisors has given a statement. India is in no position to comment on Bangladesh elections. But I think so. This government keeps on sort of baiting India. But I think on the ground, I sense that there is among the public not that much anti-India sentiment, because I think they are also tired. Because same thing this government has said, for all its failures, law and order is all over the place.
Yeah.
Rapes are happening. Everything is anti-India.
Yeah.
So I think anti-India is not really working. So if you see, it's very interesting. In their election speeches, they're turning against each other. They're not. None of the parties are really talking about India, except
Hmm.
for uh, except for saying that BNP is pro-India, and BNP got the Delhi nod to Tariq got the Delhi nod to come back to Dhaka. They're not really saying anything anti-India yet. I mean, there's still some time to go, but it's basically pointing out each other's follies. Mm,
Has the punitive actions that we've taken, cutting off the electricity, Adani just did that last week.
Yeah,
The transshipment now, which has come completely, it's just it's over. And there
yeah,
is now rumor in Bangladesh that India might just cut off the power between Nepal and Bangladesh as well.
yeah.
There's pretty active rumor. I don't know. I mean, if there's any depth to it or not, but there is that, and there is also the fact that they're now, their February 1st is supposed to be the fact when their entire textile industry is going to go shut.
Going to be shut down. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
There's a scare
what's
there.
yeah,
There's a scare there, but I don't really know. See, Bangladeshis are extremely emotional also. I mean, they are, as a people, if you see that the biggest thing that could have happened to Bangladesh was Dr. Yunus.
yeah,
Suddenly, after his mother's death and after he came back to Bangladesh, everybody is talking about Tariq as if he's already the prime minister, right? You had this, and I keep saying this, that you had that guy who was the Che Guevara of Bangladesh, who extended his arms and got Abu Said got shot on the chest. Very unfortunate thing by the police, rubber bullet, and he died, stumbled, fell, and died. He was a Jamaat guy though, but he was celebrated, and how, as the face of the of the
protest.
protest. And yeah, and then suddenly a year and a half later it became Usman Hadi. So
Hmm.
Bangladeshis are extremely emotional, and I think they are not necessarily practical all the time. So right now, how their country is suffering is, economically, is not on top of their mind. If you look at the social media, follow many of their top social media accounts. What they're discussing is Jamaat or PNP. So I think that's once the government is in power, once a new government takes oath, and they have a prime minister, that's when I think these issues will be discussed, even by their TV channels and talk shows and podcasts.
See, the Osman Hadi thing was, it was wild. It just India, India, India. They pasted my face all over their news media. That this is
Yes,
the guy. He's saying, and all that.
yes, yes.
That whole thing fell apart
Crazy.
because I got so many messages from people. Sir, what is this, sir? You are directing this. I'm like, I am a freaking podcaster. What's wrong with you people?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
don't have any such powers. I mean, are you crazy or something? And
yeah,
thing died out. But the
yeah.
interesting part to me was suddenly this guy, that chap Faisal, he turns up in Sharjah, starts
Yes,
putting out these videos, and oh, I've not done this, I'm being framed, I pay my
yes,
income tax, and all that stuff happened.
yeah,
I'm like, okay, this happened, fair enough. Then the Dhaka police says, oh, he's gone to Meghalaya and India has caught 2-3 people.
yeah,
Okay. Then 2-3 days later, it comes out, no, 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 he's actually in protective custody.
yeah.
So what actually happened to the so-called killer of Osman Hadi?
Nobody's talking about it anymore. They have completely moved on from Usman Hadi murder investigation. And this government, this interim government, sort of richly rewarded Usman Hadi's family.
Yeah, government job and house and
Yeah,
everything,
government
right?
job, and yeah, diplomat. His brother became a diplomat and all of that. So the government is also, I mean, immediate benefits
Yeah.
to shut them up, because the brother came out and said that the interim government is involved. It's the government that got him killed. So yeah, I mean, so what you were asking, I think right now it's just the election and the controversies around it.
Hmm.
It's not the economics that they're thinking about. Though the
They-
textile thing, if it happens, it's going to hit them hard. Okay? I mean, that would be the death knell of the Bangladesh economy.
That's what my
But
wonder is. So many people are
yeah,
involved in
yeah,
that
yeah.
industry, textile. The grouping has come out and said, boss, 1st February, we are shutting shop.
Yes, there are a lot
It's
of
over.
Indians also a fair amount of Indians also who work in Bangladesh in various
Yeah.
capacities as designers, etc., in Bangladesh textile industry.
So what happens to all
So
that?
yeah, but curiously, if you look at even their podcasts, everybody is discussing elections. I mean, their country is going as if magically everything is going to get okay on February 12th.
Amazing. I mean, it's a wonder that these guys are not even focusing on that issue at all. There
Yeah,
is just
yeah,
zero focus on, boss, we won't have food in houses
yeah,
for millions.
Yeah.
and there's just no discussion. How do they see the role of when this leak happened of Washington Post? How what I got very angry responses from Bangladeshis. How dare America do this? We should teach them a lesson. The standard thing, as if
Yeah.
Bangladesh is just ready to teach everybody a lesson. But
Listen,
what is the feedback from the ground? What are people saying about it?
it did have an impact. As in, it was discussed a lot, and but it also confirmed what they knew all along, that the Jamaat was fixing the system. The Jamaat was, uh, the Dhaka University Students' Union election result really changed
Hmm.
everybody's perception about the Jamaat, that how well entrenched they have become. So this was, I think, confirmation, right? If you see some of the top journalists now, even if like today they're discussing that it might well be that Jamaat wins the election. uh, Saying this, they're saying, but all Islamist parties combined doesn't even have 10% of the vote, and then they're saying, but they might win the elections. So I mean, a huge level of fixing has been on for a very long time. So this is the Washington Post tapes are just a confirmation of that. So it was not so much Jamaat, but the America angle, like you said, people getting very angry with America. How can they do it?
Hmm.
That is, but there is also this sense among some people that we have given a chance to everybody. Why not the Jamaat this time? How bad can it get? We have suffered Hasina. We know how the BNP is. Why not the Jamaat? Though the Jamaat has been in government, but as a junior partner with BNP in 2001. But there is also a sense among people, and educated people, mind you, not just the ones who we think support Jamaat, but also some certain educated people who feel that the Jamaat should be given a chance.
Okay, fine. Jamaat should be given a chance, but they're not. I mean, Bangladeshis are quite proud of their culture as far as
Yeah.
the Bengali culture, and they the sari wearing ladies, and they like
Yes.
that. Of course,
Yeah.
there's that Islamism which is growing.
Yeah.
It-
I think this guy,
It's
you should listen to him. He speaks English, Dr. Shafiqur Rahman.
yeah.
He is so sharp. So when he's asked this pointed questions, that will Jamaat comment on what women wear? So will you force women to wear the burqa? So to which he says, the Jamaat is not going to force any woman to wear any particular kind of dress. However, we are confident that our mothers and sisters will wear what they know is best for them, what is respectable for them. So every question you ask him, he has this way of. So the recent interview was done by Srinivasan Jain, and how he said that the first two times he asked him about women being in his party, and party giving tickets to women, he said we are trying, we are going to get there. But the third time he asked it, and he said, "Would you do you see a time when a woman becomes the Amir of Jamaat Islam Bangladesh?" And that time he can't
Got
he
got.
can't deflect it. Yeah, and he says, "No, no, but that's against Allah's will." But so I mean, what could he have possibly said to that? But otherwise, he's somebody who's very sort of. So what you were asking, that this the culture they're so proud of. Firstly, how much of it remains in Dhaka even is a matter of debate. Of course, I mean in percentage terms. Secondly, I mean the Islamist project has really taken root in Bangladesh. Of course, Dhaka's talking heads won't admit to this, but I think that's the one thing
All
we.
the women that left the NCP. Sorry to interrupt you. All the women that left the
Yeah.
NCP. I mean, some of them were models.
Yes.
Some
Yes.
of them are
But
international
I'll tell
models.
you some.
Short
Yes, I'll tell
clothes.
you something, Adi. I used to go and stay in Puran Dhaka, which is old Dhaka, and Gulshan 1, Gulshan 2. These are two areas in Dhaka which are very posh,
Yeah,
as you know.
posh. Yeah.
And I once very posh. So I once asked a friend of mine who's that let's I was staying at his place. So I said, let's go to Gulshan 1. spend some time there, we'll have dinner. To which his wife told me that, but that's not in Dhaka, that's another country. And this was what 2023 or something.
No,
So
Gulshan
this
2
the
is like
section you're
a,
talking,
it's clean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's well organized,
It's
traffic is
clean. It's
kind
yeah,
of
yeah, all
almost
those coffee shops and
into line
restaurants.
and
Yeah,
yeah, people
yeah,
are
yeah.
roaming around
So
this, that.
I think this is a very visible section of the population, but it's really a tiny
Tiny
section
one.
of the population, very tiny one. So it's visible because you think of Bangladesh and you think, oh, acha, it would be a certain way. Then you see a model, you see an actor. Now there is a, what I discussed with you. This what happened after the killing of Hadi, the Chayanot attack on Chayanot, and the burning down of the offices of Prothomalo and Daily Star. That, and also what Yunus allowed to happen in Bangladesh, all those in 1.5 years, all those cases, criminal cases against Bangladeshi actresses.
Hmm.
So there really been sent a message for 1.5 years that it's
Keep
not as
quiet.
if yeah, keep quiet. Not that suddenly we will turn everything off, but we will taper it off gradually. So that project is truly on.
Let's come to Yunus. He's wanting to cling on somewhere or the other, and I believe he's trying to do some negotiations so that he sits in some chair uh,
No,
in
he's.
the.
I hear that's not a problem anymore. I think both BNP and Jamaat he has. Yeah, he will be the president. Whoever is the prime minister, I think. And I think that's almost done. He will
So why is he trying to
stay
go
as the
after the
president.
army then? Why is he trying to go after the army?
So this new this referendum that's going to happen on the same day as the election,
Yeah.
February 12th, gives some more powers to the president.
Hmm.
The president is not going to be a rubber stamp anymore. He is trying to go after the army because he wants to have a greater role for himself.
Hmm.
Okay, so the power would be, he wants to push army to a side and keep it there. That this is your role. Anyway, the army, as you know, is now the army has new fathers also. So there are our Western people from our Western border. They have reached and they're doing what they're doing. So the army has a completely, so Yunus, I think, and also whoever both the parties in contention would want the army to do just that and not meddle in the country's political affairs.
I mean, there was a recent, again, soft coup attempt by Khalilur Rahman, who's the NSA, by the way, to the
Yes,
audience. This
yes,
is now the third attempt on the army chief itself, trying to move him away. This was not a forced removal.
yeah,
It's not a hard this thing, but it was a sort of a soft
yeah,
coup. Ki bhai, okay, now you're powerless. Just sit on your chair and don't do anything. Let us kind of take over the place. Uh, Fair enough. Sponsored by
yeah.
Pakistan, but yeah. But Pakistanis aren't without damage there. I mean, their ISI guys are getting thokod left, right, and center. They've lost decent size of these officers
Huh.
who've come there, uh,
Decent
killed in the
number of
hotel.
operatives. Yes.
Yeah, they've lost a lot. And senior chaps, one brigadier, I believe, has been taken out. So I'm not sure if it's true or
Yeah,
not, but
yeah, yeah,
there's a senior guy who's been taken out. So in Pakistan, brigadier is like a brigadier
yeah,
general. So what's the cost? I mean, ISI is losing its people. I don't think they lose that many people in Pakistan in terms of the ISI here. So getting killed in the bloody this thing, raat mein, you're bloody going emptying out hotels. All sorts of rubbish is happening in that
yeah,
area, which people write to us about it. I received a
yeah.
mail. He said, "Sir, we were out to dinner in XYZ hotel,
Hmm.
and within 15 minutes, you were all told to leave. My car was stuck at the back, so I saw two body bags being taken out from there, and I saw
My God.
Pakistani army uniform, and so I think there were two Pakistanis that were killed. So I was like, okay, fantastic. But the cost to the Pakistanis has been really high here.
Yeah,
So what's
yeah.
what's what's the end game? What are they trying to do? even after losing so many people.
No, they will keep doing this. I think just that our guys need to do what they're doing. I think finally we have woken up to the problem on our eastern border, along our eastern border. So I think our guys need to do what they're doing. But uh, I think we are now, at least from a security perspective, paying proper attention. But
Mhm.
politically, or we are still not in a good. I mean, we cannot be in a good place.
We can't, yeah,
We are we
not
can't,
for
because
some time.
even the option we are uh, that which Dhaka is discussing, that we have opted for, is not much of an option. You know this. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's just a shade of black we are debating here.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
I mean, Mr. Rahman has been saying some nice things in election campaign, but we know him for who he is. So,
yeah. So the situation in Myanmar and the whole scare there,
huh,
Teknaf and that entire region, a
yeah,
lot of people are crying Indian conspiracy there also. Although,
yeah,
I mean, everything,
yeah,
even a apple falls from a tree, which is not
is an
fully
Indian
ripe.
conspiracy. Yeah, but they are in a very bad place. I mean,
Can you tell us
they
what's the game there and what's the danger to Bangladesh?
I think it's a little premature to talk about that yet.
Okay.
Uh, I think two podcasts later we'll talk about that. So,
But
so
there is scare from the Arakan army where these guys are
huge
quite
scare
worried
from the
about.
Arakan army. Yes,
They're,
yes,
they're quite
yes,
scared.
yes.
They're
They're
quite
quite
scared
scared.
about it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think the audience will get some hints by just the fact that you said two podcasts later, and we'll talk about it two podcasts later. But
yeah,
coming back
yeah,
to the mainstream in Bangladesh, I want to talk about Yunus a little more.
yeah.
Yunus, whatever you say, he created this party, NCP, and this and that. I don't see that much noise from the NCP anymore.
No,
All I
NCP
saw,
was pretty much a failed experiment. I mean, because it was not supposed to be. See, Yunus is not an administrator. I mean,
yeah,
Yunus is a UN guy. I mean, he knows the talk circuit, the Western talk circuit very well. He can charm
hmm,
his way in talk circuits. Uh, this party. I mean, I keep saying that the Delhi gave a hell lot of time to Aam Aadmi Party, but look at the NCP, which was compared to the Aam Aadmi Party when it was formed. I mean, it just within a couple of months, it became, from being so hyped, it became nothing. So it's pretty sad. I mean, those guys, uh, I mean, they're young students, of course, but the amount of corruption they did, and all the other scandals that happened around them, you know. And Yunus should have at least told those guys that, Baba, don't do it like this. I mean, you will make money and you will have a different lifestyle, but at least, you know, ruk jao till the elections happen. So I think that's not an experiment that really took off. They were also, they were B team of Jamaat, uh, but I think they were used just for that, just for creating nuisance. They could not become anything. Uh, and though ideological differences, of course, I mean, it's funny that some the women leaders all sort of suddenly resigned after they formally tied up with the Jamaat. That also I found a little funny, because they should have known all along who was behind the party and who was in the protests, who was actually planning the protests and guiding the protesters. So to wait till the formal announcement of an alliance between NCP and Jamaat and then to resign from the party was a little silly. It's as silly as a story I did. I remember immediately after the fall of Hasina, there was this Hindu Dhaka University student who said that why are they trying to kill me now? Because I was part of the July protests and I came out on the streets to ask for Hasina's downfall, and now they are trying to attack me. So I did a story. So it's almost as funny as that, for the women leaders to not understand till 1.5 years that what is the NCP and who are the NCP. So I mean, they were also living in fool's paradise. But yes, NCP did not amount to much, and if Yunus was behind it, like he was, it's something he could not manage his government or manage the country. He also could not manage the party that he helped form. Only thing he could manage was he has stuck on to the game rather successfully. Uh, so that part of the politics he got right. That somehow he has managed to stick on to the game. And
Was
I,
it
th-
part
I
politics he got right, or he got the street right?
see he left the street to the Islamists.
Okay.
So if I mean, then I mean he did not really interfere there. So every time his government, like with the 433 recommendations, which he wanted to showcase to the world, recommendations for I mean, women's affairs committee was set up, and there were recommendations for legalizing sex workers and making domestic work payable, and all of those things that happened. There was a huge protest. Hifazat, almost a lakh Hifazat activists took to the streets in Dhaka and called for a dismissal of the government, and that's the last you heard of the 433 recommendations. So, I mean, he basically let the Islamists have their way, and so he did not try to control the streets. He left the streets to those who control the streets. So I think, yeah. So, uh, and his deal was keep me as the figurehead, as the titular head. You do what you have to do.
Yeah, just keep me there. What is his whole thing of being there and being? I mean, he's 80 plus.
See, it's Hasina was right about wanting to dunk him into the Padma River not once but twice. She said it, remember, and it was very funny.
Yeah,
That made headlines. I think one of it, he always wanted to be where he is today. Then he had this personal grouse against Hasina. So both those things were taken care of since 2024. I mean, he replaced Hasina, he threw her out of the country, and he stuck on to power. I mean, beyond that, I think he doesn't want. He's 80 plus. He doesn't want to do anything more. He just wants to be there. So he has misbehaved with the current president. He has come out and said so, Mohammad Shahabuddin Chuppu, that I was disrespected and how. And now I think once the elections is over, Chuppu is going to be asked to go, and he will take his place. And that's it. I mean, a little more power, and I think he will keep talking to Western press, keep giving anti-India statements, keep himself relevant. I think that's the game.
Hmm. Well,
Which is why,
last,
if you see now, he's not talking so much. He's letting,
yeah,
yeah,
he's just surviving.
yeah, he's surviving. He's now because I think this bit of the game is fixed, that he will become the president and the prime minister
Unless
can be
somebody,
decided between.
unless
Yes,
somebody
whoever is the
something happens to
yes,
him. Yeah,
yes,
which is quite a possibility. A lot of people are pissed off with him in
yeah,
Bangladesh. I
yeah,
mean, I've seen effigies of him being burnt all over the place.
yes, yes,
Actually, especially the northern area and the tail end towards Teknaf and
yeah,
Chittagong, there are a
yeah,
lot of effigy burning that happens of Yunus. People
yeah.
are extremely unhappy about him. Uh,
Extremely unhappy.
yeah. So, what do you think is the now? I just want to ask about the people a little more. So, you've got the Bengalis, which are there, ठीक है, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
the predominant population. Then you've got the Chittagong hill tribes and all that stuff, which is there. And
yeah,
you've got this section of people which is now feeling, very, very threatened, which are the Hindus and the Christians and the
yes,
Buddhists.
yes, yes,
Hindus are on target right now. We all know it's once the Hindus are over, the next are Christians and then the Buddhists, and all of them will be
yes,
wiped clean.
including Muslims in Shias and Ahmadiyas and the shrine people who believe in Sufi shrines and all of those
Sufi,
people. I
though, they're
mean, they are
breaking, right? Breaking all the Sufi
yes,
shrines.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. Huge number of Sufi shrines they broke,
yeah.
and
And one of
the
them,
idea of Lalon Fakir
Lalan Fakir,
and the
yes.
mazhars, all of that.
So what's the game here? I mean, this they just want to keep it completely Sunni Bengali. That's it.
Yes, completely Sunni Bengali, completely that. But I think they will do it. They'll do it gradually. It's not. It won't happen overnight. They'll keep parts of Dhaka flashy, so that for the Western press, for the outside world, there's a semblance of that much abused word secularism and inclusivity. But I think the countryside, they will completely change. They have started doing that already.
Yeah, it's already happening.
Yeah, it's already happening.
And what I see is that even now, a lot of the Hindus there are saying, no, we don't want to leave, we will still fight. What's the motivation there?
It's very sad, but I see these videos of Hindus rooting for Jamaat. I mean, it's the saddest thing. I think. I mean, what can you
I
say?
didn't want to bring that up because those words out of my mouth really,
Yeah, yeah,
mm,
yeah.
I don't
So,
want to
and
puke
they'll
on
say like they are they'll keep us like brothers and all of that. I mean, it's crazy to. But what I spoke to last week, I spoke to Dipu Chandra Das's brother. He's a 16-year-old
Yeah.
boy. I spoke to him over the phone for almost half an hour. It's very extremely tragic. He said that I asked him. He can't vote, of course, but I asked him that what do you think? What are people saying? Who do they want to vote for? So he said, Dada, what choice do we have? We just want to live. Right to vote. Who do we want to vote for? Are not even questions anymore. We just somehow want to survive. Uh, I had asked this question to somebody in Maguda, uh, which is in a village called Muhammadpur, and asked that, though I mean this was in much better times, but I asked him after there were reports. This is during Hasina's time. There were reports of vandalization of a mandir in a place that was close by to Mohammadpur. And I asked him that, what do you feel? I mean, these things have been happening, right? I mean, things are somewhat better during Hasina's time, but still things happen and there are forced conversions, and there is a constant othering that happens. So, have you never wanted to leave and sort of settle in West Bengal or somewhere else? And he said something very interesting. He said that this is our motherland. I mean, why are you talking like my neighborhood Muslim guy that you belong to India? I don't. I belong here because this is where the mandir is. This is where my agricultural fields are. This is where my house is. So many generations of my family stay here. So it's very I have we look at it like that, but they under of course they under a part of them understand that it's. But if you ask them, many of them will still tell you that we'll die, but we won't. Leaving or going to India is not an option. It's very tragic. It's something that Lajja, Taslim Nasrin's book, begins with. That the gentleman says that who's himself the victim of a horrific attack. His genitals are chopped off,
Yeah.
and he when his son tells him, let's go to India, and he says that's a gali. Why will I go to India? But then when his daughter is taken away and probably raped and killed, at the end of the novel, he says, let's go to India. So I think, I mean, what do I say to this? I was at a in a uh, talk with Vina Sikri, Ambassador Vina Sikri. And that particular day, incidentally, it was the day when Osman Hadi was shot, and ORF had a conversation around my book and also about what's happening in Bangladesh. And the question of Hindus came up, and I of course Hadi had been shot, but I'd seen some videos on my phone just sent to me from Bangladesh, attacks on Hindus. And when I was asked what about the Hindu question, I said, there's no point. I was exasperated. I said, there's no point talking about Hindus in Bangladesh. And Vina Sikri, of course, was very agitated and he said, "Ma'am, no, Deep, I don't agree with you. We should keep talking about Hindus in Bangladesh, and we should. I mean, the reason I said there's no point talking about Hindus is Bangladesh is it just. I mean, it's so hopeless. It just almost 2 crore people, and we are. Sanjeev Sanyal had once told me that Hindus in Bangladesh are Indians we have left behind, uh, and it's very tragic. It's
The
extremely
folly of
tragic.
71, the mistakes that we made in 71 are just.
Yes, are huge. So I don't know what to say. I mean, this is so tragic. It's not funny. I mean, nobody. No, I
Can't even
mean,
pull them out. I mean, even if you say, okay, fine, I'm going to pull all of the Hindus out. Okay, I'm invading Bangladesh, and I'm how?
yeah,
I mean, they're spread
yeah,
all over the freaking place.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, It's how do you get them? Some people have land, they've got houses. How do you get them compensated? How do you?
I just got a list. I'll not in the next to next podcast, but hopefully in the next podcast itself, I'll discuss that list. I got it on my phone today itself, so I don't want to talk about it because it's not verified. But I have a list of various officers, government officers from where Hindus have been sacked by this government. It's a huge list.
Yeah, yeah, some 4,000 people or something like that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, we saw some of that in universities and colleges, but it's also in government offices. But then there are also some people who are doing well still.
yeah.
Uh, so, that Krishna Nandi, the Jamaat candidate, I see he's chewing pan and, I mean,
Chicken for KFC, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry. That's just.
So, yeah, and he's sort of, yeah, he looks like he's pretty well to do. And that's this
I
very
guess that's why
funny.
he's doing well. I guess that's why he was doing well. They would take away
Yeah,
his wealth, he'll be hanging under a flyover.
yeah. There's a very funny video of him on a bike, waving at voters. Just that when you zoom out, you can see that there are no voters and supporters. He's just waving at nothing. So I mean, there are comments below it that who are you waving at? I mean, there's nobody to support you.
That's one thing which I see, and that's my last question. A lot of these
Yeah,
Bangladeshi people who are there online, probably they're not
yeah,
on the street, but they're online
yeah.
and they do fact checks to these guys right on their faces.
Yes, yes, they do. They do some
They-
very interesting fact checkers. Not all of them are on Twitter. There are fact checkers from the other side also.
Hmm.
There's one gentleman who fact checks anything that our media writes.
Yeah, yeah, he's part of our gang only, no?
Yes, yes, yes. Anything our media writes, he fact checks, and
Hmm.
every attack on Hindus in Bangladesh is fake news. And
Hmm.
in fact, put out something. I don't generally tag people and sort of say something, but that day I said that when that woman's head was raped and her
Yeah.
hair was chopped, and he said that she was a prostitute. So I just put out that line from his tweet. So he got very defensive. He said, "I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it. That's a local media report." So, so I
So
just
just
put, I
because she's a
just,
prostitute, she can get her hair chopped and get
and
raped, huh?
she was not. I mean, it's just, I mean, imagine the level to which, I mean, they're lying.
Amazing, yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you, Deep Saab. Always a pleasure talking
always
to
a
you.
pleasure, and we'll talk more.
Yeah,
I
we
think
will
what I hear, things will happen faster than they have in the past few months.
obviously after the election, everybody's waiting for that, and I hope they have that election so that we can do what we
Yes,
need to do after that.
yes, yes.
All right, thank you so much, sir, and
Thank you,
always a
sir.
pleasure to the audience.
Thank
And those of you watching from Bangladesh, we don't hate you, but you know what? Don't make us hate you.
you. Yeah,
We are very close to it right now,
yeah,
and let me just assure people that in India nobody talks about Bangladesh and this and that. We don't care. You can live or kill your country for all I care. The minute it comes to us, well, there's going to be problems. And I know a lot of you from Bangladesh do watch. So take it as simple this thing that we're not, we just want you to guys to just settle down, do whatever you need to. You want to create Jihad Central in Bangladesh, do it. Don't bring it here. And that's just about it. So, and the rest of you guys, please like, subscribe, and of course, support the channel as much as you can. And check out the description for further details. Namaskar.